In this video, I'll show you how to apply Danish oil to your wood projects. For this job, you'll need Danish oil, a lint-free cloth or brush, fine grit sandpaper, and a clean, dust-free workspace. Danish oil comes in different colors and finishes, so choose the one that suits your project best. You can also mix different types of Danish oil to create your own custom blend. A lint-free cloth or brush is essential for applying the oil to not leave any lint or streaks on the wood surface. You can use any cloth or brush that doesn't shed fibers, such as cotton, microfiber, or synthetic brushes. Use fine grit sandpaper to prepare the wood surface by removing any existing finish or rough spots, depending on how smooth you want the surface to be. The finer the grit, the smoother the surface. The first step is to ensure the wood surface is clean and smooth. If the wood has any existing finish or rough spots, sand them off with fine grit sandpaper. Sanding will also open up wood pores, which will help the oil soak in better. Don't sand too hard or too long, as this can damage the wood or create scratches. Sand along the direction of the wood grain for a smooth finish. After sanding, wipe off any dust or residue from the wood surface with a damp cloth. Next, pour Danish oil onto the wood surface and spread it evenly with a lint-free cloth or brush in the direction of the grain. The location on the wood surface where you pour the Danish oil will absorb more oil and look darker than the rest if it's not immediately wiped and spread evenly on the wood. You don't need to use too much oil. A thin layer is enough to cover the wood surface. If you use too much oil, it can create bubbles or drips that will ruin the finish. Start from one end of the wood surface and work your way to the other end, making sure you cover every inch of the wood. Don't leave any gaps or overlaps in the oil application. As you apply the Danish oil, rub it onto the wood in a circular motion. This will help the oil penetrate deep into the grain, bringing out the wood's natural beauty. Don't rush this step. Take your time and cover the entire surface. Rubbing the oil into the wood will also create friction that generates heat. This heat will help cure the oil faster and create a stronger bond between the oil and the wood. You can apply more than one coat of Danish oil for a richer and stronger finish. Just let each coat dry completely before applying the next one. After you have applied the Danish oil, let it sit on the wood for a few minutes. This will allow the oil to soak into the wood and form a protective layer. The longer you let it sit, the more protection the wood will get. The ideal time to let the oil sit depends on the type of Danish oil you're using and the condition of the wood. Generally, this varies between 5 and 15 minutes. The final step is to let the wood dry completely in a well-ventilated area. This usually takes about 24 hours, but it may vary depending on the type of Danish oil you're using. Avoid touching or moving the wood surface during drying, as this can disturb the finish or leave fingerprints. Also avoid exposing the wood surface to direct sunlight or high temperatures, which can cause cracking or fading. Also, Danish oil is flammable, so be careful when disposing of any rags or brushes that have been soaked in it. Don't bunch them up or throw them in a pile. Lay them flat to dry in a well-ventilated area or soak them in water before throwing them away. Here are some more pro tips for completing this job successfully. Shake or stir the Danish oil well before using it. Test the Danish oil on a scrap piece of wood before applying it to your project. Apply Danish oil in thin coats for better results. Avoid applying Danish oil under direct sunlight or high temperatures. Buff the final coat of Danish oil with a soft cloth for extra shine. Also, remember Danish oil can irritate your skin, so always wear protective gloves when working with it. If you get any oil on your skin, wash it off immediately with soap and water. Danish oil also emits fumes that can be harmful if inhaled for too long, so make sure you work in a well-ventilated area and avoid breathing in the fumes directly. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel for more woodworking tutorials. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.